in a surprising turn of events that has gripped both the entertainment and creator communities alike. Blake Lively's legal strategy appears to be falling apart, at least when it comes to her controversial attempt to subpoena multiple content creators. What was once seen as a bold, high-stakes move to protect her public image has now taken a dramatic and unexpected turn, raising serious questions about fairness, free speech, and the boundaries of celebrity influence in the digital age. Blake Lively, widely celebrated for her grace, talent, and Hollywood charm, is suddenly at the center of an escalating public relations storm. While most of her fans know her from her roles in Gossip Girl and The Age of Adeline, her recent legal actions against small and mid-sized YouTubers have overshadowed her film legacy. It all started when creators began discussing a series of events tied to Lively's alleged connections to ongoing legal matters. What followed was a wave of subpoenas, powerful legal tools meant to demand access to content, identities, and data. But what was the result of this bold legal outreach? Nothing, or at least nothing meaningful. Blake's legal team has come up empty-handed in their fishing expedition. The creators targeted have stood their ground, with some managing to respond with wit, professionalism, and unexpected legal strength. It's a situation few could have predicted: a Hollywood A-lister facing off against everyday content creators and losing ground. This isn't just a Hollywood headline, it's a cultural moment. It's about the power of digital voices and how creators, regardless of subscriber count, are showing that they're not afraid to speak the truth, share their thoughts, or stand up for themselves. While Blake Lively's legal team may have underestimated the resilience of the online community, the message being sent back is loud and clear: the age of unchecked influence is over. Let's now break down the full timeline, what the creators are saying, and why Blake Lively's strategy might have just backfired in a way no one saw coming. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind the clock a bit. Over the past few months, a handful of content creators, ranging from small commentary channels to legal analysts, began covering what they perceived as questionable PR tactics and legal maneuvers involving Blake Lively's name. Some of these creators referenced public documents, lawsuits, and even opened speculation in response to rumors surrounding Blake's team and their alleged behind-the-scenes influence. The coverage was passionate, detailed, and at times critical, but not illegal. Still, something about the exposure struck a nerve. Blake Lively's legal representatives filed subpoenas aiming to unmask anonymous creators and force the removal of videos or information deemed damaging to her reputation. It was called a fishing expedition by legal experts, not because there was a clear legal violation, but because the approach seemed less about justice and more about gathering intel or intimidating dissent. This sparked concern across the content creator space. Legal YouTubers began weighing in, noting that this could set a dangerous precedent for how celebrities handle criticism. Others began reviewing First Amendment protections, particularly in the US, where freedom of speech, even critical or speculative, is deeply protected. And then something wild happened. The subpoenas started to fail. One by one, the creators who had been targeted started speaking out, and they didn't back down. Some issued detailed response videos, others filed formal motions to quash the subpoenas entirely. A few worked with pro bono legal aid and public interest groups that believe in defending online expression. Perhaps the most surprising detail: some of these creators had fewer than 1,000 subscribers. In one case, a creator with barely any following at all filed an articulate, confident legal response that not only pushed back but brought attention to the perceived overreach of Blake Lively's legal team. The internet rallied. Hashtags like #CreatorRights and #StopSilencingVoices began trending across platforms. What followed was a stunning realization: Blake's legal team wasn't finding what they were looking for. No clear evidence of defamation, no malicious intent, just commentary, questions, and constitutionally protected speech. It was a moment of digital justice where ordinary people using the tools of the internet refused to be silenced. They didn't respond with aggression, they responded with clarity, law, and confidence, and it worked. The court in multiple instances refused to enforce the subpoenas or placed limits on what information could be demanded. And that's when the narrative began to shift, not just among creators, but in the mainstream media too. As the details emerged, the public began re-evaluating their perception of Blake Lively. While she had long been known for staying away from controversy, this legal campaign changed that image. Commentators from legal podcasts, digital rights organizations, and even Hollywood insiders began asking, why was such a respected celebrity using legal tools to go after such small fish? Was it really about protection or about control? The backlash was swift. Fans expressed disappointment. Journalists asked whether the strategy was being driven more by PR panic than real legal need. Some even questioned whether Lively herself was fully aware of the implications of what her legal team was pursuing. The result was a dip in online sentiment. Once admired for her elegance, she now appeared as a symbol of elite overreach, someone potentially misusing legal influence to stifle conversation. Creators meanwhile gained followers, support, and legal allies. Their calm, confident responses to massive legal pressure were being celebrated as acts of digital courage. What began as a few small YouTubers defending their right to speak had turned into a much larger conversation about power, influence, and justice. Today, the situation has largely turned in favor of the content creators. Many of the subpoenas are either blocked under review or withdrawn. Courts have affirmed that speech, especially when based on public records or personal analysis, is protected. Blake Lively's legal strategy has seemingly lost its teeth, and along with it, some of its credibility. Instead of silencing criticism, it amplified it. Instead of erasing digital chatter, it multiplied it. And instead of restoring her public image, it may have harmed it even more. Some industry insiders have suggested that Lively might now reconsider her legal approach, potentially stepping back from future actions against creators. Others wonder if this moment might encourage more celebrities to think twice before pursuing aggressive tactics against independent voices. As for the creators, they've gained something far more valuable than views. They've earned the respect of a global audience, the support of free speech advocates, and the reminder that even in the shadow of Hollywood, truth, transparency, and courage still matter. The story of Blake Lively's subpoena attempt isn't just about one celebrity and a few YouTubers. It's a larger reflection of the world we now live in, where every voice, no matter how small, holds power, and where legal influence, no matter how large, can be challenged when misused. By coming up empty in her fishing expedition, Blake Lively has unintentionally exposed something much bigger: the strength of decentralized media, the courage of independent creators, and the resilience of free speech in the internet era. This situation may well serve as a cautionary tale to other public figures considering similar paths. In the age of digital democracy, silence cannot be forced and respect cannot be won through subpoena. Ultimately, what wins hearts and minds is humility, openness, and dialogue, not fear, intimidation, or control. And that may be the most important message of all.